Hi everybody. Today is day 9, and I come to you from the beautiful little town of Port Fairy that I got to just as the sun was coming down tonight. So where are we up to? So tonight I'm in a room. I couldn't take it any longer. It was so wet and cold. I'm sleeping in a little tent which is really lightweight and whatever else, but it just doesn't keep the water out. So consequently, with so much rain and condensation, everything's wet. So tonight, I had to get a room to dry anything, and this has got a heater, so I won't show you the room, but it's scattered with my clothes from A to Z all over the place, all soaking wet. Just on that point, I bought a Gore-Tex jacket before I left. So if you've ever considered buying a new jacket for adventuring, go no further than a Gore-Tex jacket. Everything is saturated, despite my best endeavours in my panniers keeping. I've got Ortlieb panniers, which are probably the best in the world, and the water in some way has migrated in there. Anyway, the Gore-Tex jacket, everything is wet except my riding gear today, which is a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, a couple of things around my neck, my head, etc. But anything under that Gore-Tex jacket is stone dry. And when I took off my clothes tonight to have a shower, I said, oh my God, there's Gore-Tex at its best, bone dry. So God knows why, with all the stuff I do, I didn't get one before, but that was fantastic. So here we are, we've hit the coast, hit Port Fairy. So I've come south from Hayward last night, and if I'd kept on going I would have hit Portland, but I got to Hayward last night, which is a real truckers kind of town, and I was absolutely exhausted, as I am every day, and it was wet and cold, as per normal. So I slept there last night. I woke up this morning and I really was beaten up. I really was tired and just really had to have a break. And I thought, what will I do if I had an option to go into Portland this morning, which is only 30 k's or something, and stay there, which would have been, the sensible thing to do, and have a time off. Or I could take the hard option, which was to take a side track and go 70 k's, which would cut off a fair bit of the east-west requirement the next day, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I thought, bugger it, I'll take that option. I was so tired, but if I run out of gas, I'll just have to sleep in the woods tonight. So I catered for that accordingly. I had various foods on board that I could do that, but for some reason it got cooler and the wind got so strong behind me. I thought, oh my God, I can't ignore this. So as I always say, I'm going to take a rest, and I can't seem to ever do it, so I just gunned it and made for Port Fairy. So the last 20 k's, screaming wind. It was just fantastic wind. So I was pushing the biggest chain ring and just going as hard as I could. It was chilly, cold rain for the last 20 k's, so I got in here just as it got dark. So I've got this room tonight, and I've just been next door and had a little bit to eat. So I'll do this video and go to bed. So look, it's all good. It's been tough work. I mean, you wouldn't expect these things to be anything else but tough work. The thing that I'm particularly pleased about, though, I spent months researching the best window to go in, and I always do the same thing. So I looked at the meteorology over, probably 50 years or something, and tried to find that window that would give me the optimum conditions. And what I was looking for was the highest chances of strong tailwinds. So I had to leave it till it was borderline with the rain. If I went 2 months ago, or 6 weeks ago even, I wouldn't have got the rain, but I also wouldn't have got the winter winds. I would have got traditional summer winds, which is southeasterlies and easterlies, etc. So it would have been higher temperatures, more daylight hours, but I would not have got these winds. So I really mapped this sort of whole trip on the fact that I'd get really strong westerlies, norwesterlies, southwesterlies, and of course you can't have it perfect. I knew some days it would go wrong, like it did that dangerous day the other day that I keep talking about on YouTube. But all that I predicted did happen. These very strong westerlies and strong norwesterlies blowing at 25, 35 kilometres an hour, like this afternoon. So that was pleasing. So tomorrow all my clothes should be dry. I've got this heater on full steam, and I'm on the Great Ocean Road now. I'll start tracking east. I think there's probably about another 350 kilometres, I reckon. I think I've done about 700 k's, and I think the worst of the danger, if you know what I mean, is over. Those trucks, man. I was getting in late last night in the dark, and I rang the caravan park guy, who was a nice guy, and he opened the caravan park for me so I could get in and have a shower. But he told me last night that at this time of the year, the official stats say there's about 400 trucks that go past his front door on the Princess Highway. 400 trucks, man. Wow, that's scary stuff. So that was my experience. Yeah, that would be my experience. But I think that's largely behind me now. So I'm on the Great Ocean Road. Now, I'm not that familiar. Since I lived in Melbourne, it was so long ago, I can't remember the Great Ocean Road. But I don't think it's the habitat of these big trucks so much. I'll find out tomorrow. So my intent is to probably go to Warrnambool tomorrow, short day, and then start tracking east from Port Campbell, Apollo Bay, and whatever else is to follow, and finally into Torquay, then to Queenscliff. I'll catch the ferry across to Portsea, and I've got an old schoolmate that lives in Surrender. I'll stay with him a night, and then I'll enjoy riding up the Nepean Highway into Melbourne. So it's all gone pretty much to plan. You're not going to get out of it sort of easy. I knew by pushing the weather like that to get the winds that I wanted, I would get some rain. So yes, I have been belted by the rain and got cold, but you know, it hasn't killed me. So there's also, a friend of mine told me today that there's a mountain bike track. Now I think it's on hard service. It's about the same distance as the Princess Highway, which I'll find out tomorrow. A dedicated mountain bike track from here to Warrnambool, same distance, extra K or something. So if that's hard surface, I might consider taking that. But if it's not hard surface, I won't consider it. So I haven't seen much evidence of other cyclists. I met one guy from Italy, a journalist, who took all my details. We had a chat too. He's cycling around Australia, writing some kind of article. We had a chat with him, and I met another Australian photographer also doing some kind of article. We had a chat. So Australia doesn't cease to amaze me, just the variety of the beauty and the topography. I said today when I made a video, you concentrate so much on a bike to keep yourself alive. I mean, you're looking at just 3 metres ahead. There's 3 metres ahead night and day. And you've got to stop sometimes and look where you are. My God, some of the farming community I've seen, and the animals and the beautiful Frisian cows I saw today, and the sheep, a couple of breeds of sheep I didn't even recognise. And it really is quite an amazing country. I've seen so much of it on a bike now, the deserts and the coast and whatever else. So it is a remarkable country. I stopped today to take a video, and a big, really aggressive dog came out from one of the farms. He was at my lap before I knew he was there. This monstrous looking dog. He's licking my knee, and it gave me the fright of my life, but he turned out to be a nice guy, and I gave him a cookie. Okay, that's about it for today. Yes, I do have a cough. Sleeping in the cold, I suppose, has brought that on, but I'll be all right. So I'm looking after myself. I'm getting a lot of food. I'm eating a lot of food because I know exactly how much food I've got to eat each day to keep this program going. So I'm doing that, and I'll have a good night's sleep tonight. Psychologically, I was really down this morning. I thought I was so cold and so wet. I didn't think I'd do the 72 Ks or whatever it is today. I didn't think I'd make it. I thought I'd be in the forest tonight for sure, but I wasn't. So all good. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll make another vid tomorrow. Okay, catch you later. Good night.